Hello everybody, it's Dusty Sage and I am here at Disneyland on this beautiful Thanksgiving. And I'm in a, well, you can figure out where I am. I'm about to take you on a special attraction. Sorry, I'm just about to board an attraction that I normally would not ride, but because it's Thanksgiving, I'm going to do for you, for all of you. I'm going to turn this around right now. Oh, they didn't. Yes, that's right. I'm going to ride the Matterhorn. A ride I claim that I'm never going to ride, but we were in line to have you on Small World for the start of this video, and it broke down. So I rushed over here and jumped in the single rider line. Jeffrey, Ando, and Suzanne are with me today as well. And they are going to join us after our ride. So they're riding in the regular line, but they're just behind me. Actually can see them now. They're just about to load. I hope everyone's having a great Thanksgiving, and if you saw our cover image on this video, you know the kind of Thanksgiving we're having here at Disneyland today is both a crowded day and an uncrowded day at the same time. I will show you what I mean by that. So we go along, we'll take a look at the Haunted Mansion queue, the new one that just reopened, and hear my thoughts on that. See Magnolia Gardens. We will take you down Main Street, maybe see the lighting of It's a Small World if the timing works out just right. And then we're gonna go down downtown Disney and see a new shop that just opened before we head off and have our Thanksgiving dinner here at Disneyland. There are turkeys to be found. So far, we are the turkeys. Folks, if you'll do me a favor, since this is a ride I avoid, if you'd like, share, comment, let everybody know that even though it's Thanksgiving, we are live at Disneyland. I'd appreciate it. That was me groaning in pain. Come on, everybody. Sorry, I had to put the phone down. All right, we are buckled in and ready to go.
Pull the yellow tab on the right, pull the yellow tab.
Keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the basket. And shut them up, your children. Auf Wiedersehen.
El Wiedersehen.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado con el cinturón de seguridad.
Very dark in here. first splash. didn't spill my cinnamon toasted tacos on the floor.
Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened. Permanecer sentados.
I survived. I'm going to try and get myself out of here, and then we'll put the stabilizer on the video, so we might have a little bit of trouble here for just a second. But give me a moment to get out of the ride. I went to the gym yesterday and worked out my legs, so... that hurt.
The other one was one.
We'll see if my hair held up. It did. The miracle of Aquanet. I'm waiting for Ando and all of them to get off the ride. But folks, you know, I have to tell you, spending Thanksgiving at Disneyland is really magical. We've been able to look at the lights and eat some holiday food. We've been in both parks today. Suzanne has been an incredible person to spend Thanksgiving with. And now I'm spending it with all of you, which I really appreciate. I know that many people that would normally watch us are having their Thanksgiving dinners right now, but the miracle of being on YouTube is this live video will be uploaded as soon as we're done here, and so everybody can watch it later. So when they're done having their Thanksgiving dinner arguments around the table, then they can come and yell at me, and I look forward to it. I'm turning this around again. So people are lined up right now because the parade will be rolling down the street here in about 20 minutes. We are not waiting for it. We are just waiting for Jeffrey and Ando and Suzanne to get off of the ride. And I wanted to be on the ride when the video started, so I jumped out of line with them and I got in the standby or the single rider line instead. And I'm going to put the stabilizer on the phone now so it's not so jittery. Just a moment here. See how pretty Small World looks there in the distance, and Small World Mall. I'm here at one of the popcorn carts. This one smells like vomit. I don't know what they have done to the popcorn stands around the cart, but the new scents that they're using, or perhaps it's from the popcorn itself, for me, it doesn't smell great. I've heard other people say the same. Give me just a second here. Oh, we have survivors with us. Ando, you're the one that doesn't like thrill rides. How did you do?
Not too bad.
Not too bad?
Yeah.
Good. So you all are going to lose me for a second. We are having a hard time with this here stabilizer. Yeah. Oh dear. I hate to have to handhold it because it just doesn't do well, but I'm going to. So we're back. everything that could go wrong just did. But that's what live video is all about. Let's take everybody down to see Small World up close, and then we're going to make our loop through and show you some new things. We have quite a journey today. And we'd like to hear about your Thanksgivings in the comments below. So if you've done something interesting for Thanksgiving this year, gone someplace incredible, had something funny happen, please let us know. Really, there's no more merry place in the resort than Small World Mall. It's one of the few places where they've actually put lights in all of the trees. They used to do years ago, little lights in the trees was the thing to do for the holidays. Disneyland's been cutting back on that over the years. Other parks do it. Six Flags probably has one of the best displays of lights in the trees throughout the parks. So if you like that, they're a great place to visit. And we just missed because at 4:30 he goes to bed, but Santa Claus has taken over the Fantasyland Theater this year. No shows in the Fantasyland Theater. Oh, so gorgeous right now. The blue sky and all of these lights. The weather is, I mean, this is perfect. It's the kind of weather that makes people want to move to Southern California. While it's snowy and cold and wet elsewhere in the country, it's dry, blue skies. It was in the mid 70s today here. It actually got a bit warm. I just put my jacket on before this live video so I wouldn't have to carry it around, but glad I did because it's just now starting to get a little bit nippy. It's the Fantasyland Theater all decorated back there. The clock's about to go, and then there's a lighting show that happens over here, we hope. So we're going to take you over to see what's happening at Small World while it's making all these noises at us.
Please remain seated until the boat comes to a complete stop at the dock and you are asked to disembark. Thank you.
The little children of the world dancing their way across the facade of It's a Small World. We had an amazing article today on Mice Chat about a new stanza of the song, It's a Small World, which is the most played song in history and most played song around the world. So every Disney resort around the world, I think except for Shanghai, has a version of It's a Small World, and they are all playing that song in an endless loop, making it the most played song. But before he passed away, Richard Sherman wrote a new refrain for the song. And it's quite lovely. So if you check the front page of micechat.com right now, you can see the lyrics to that song, but there is also a video. And 2 weeks ago, I was at an event honoring Richard Sherman, and that song was sung live to say there wasn't a dry eye in the house. You can relive a bit of that with us. So the kids are now going in, and then we'll see if they do the lighting moment. So I am going to scroll back and we will wait and see if the lighting show happens. I think Amber is living the experience that so many people did this Thanksgiving. She has in-laws in from out of town. They cooked too much food. They ate too much. That's been my Thanksgiving like every year for my whole life. Today was a lot different. I've really not eaten that much today. Suzanne and I shared a Thanksgiving plate at Flo's Diner earlier today. I had a gyoza roll from San Francisco, and then I had a dairy-free blue milk with strawberry puree and popping pearls in it. Nope, I don't think they're doing the lighting show, or it would have happened already, but train just rolled into the station and we got to enjoy the lights and see the March of the Little Children of the World. So that was a success. That is a Thanksgiving moment. Now I see that you've got you've got the stabilizer going with a phantom phone on it. That's Jeffrey, everybody. Ando, his husband, and of course, Suzanne, my partner in crime. And although it looked like we were screaming at each other in the cover image on this video, we never scream at each other.
No, that actually was me on the Matterhorn.
Were you screaming?
Because it's so painful.
It is so painful. No, honestly, Ando, painful for you? Or you handled it okay?
Yes.
But you won't ride Space Mountain.
No,
And you won't ride Big Thunder.
I've done once and won't ride Radiator Springs Racers.
And you won't ride Radiator Springs, but you just rode the Matterhorn, so guess what? You've just leveled up.
But he will
You can now...
ride Indiana Jones.
He will ride Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones I can do all day.
Huh. Not me. Off we go. Lots to see.
Are you going to take the one without
Matt, never
My sister's having Thanksgiving in Palm Springs, and I was going to join her. I've invited a lot of places for Thanksgiving this year, but decided it was really important for us to be live with all of you. We do these live videos Thursdays at 5, and although many people aren't watching us because they're having their family dinners, there are a lot of you that don't have anywhere to go this Thanksgiving. Well, you have a place because you're here with us. Right, Suzanne?
For sure. I'm happy to be here spending time with everyone.
Yeah, same with me. I couldn't even imagine not being here with all of you. So for those of you who are sticking it out with us or having your Thanksgiving dinner right now watching us, thank you.
Just don't throw any potatoes at us.
I threw a few potatoes at Suzanne earlier because they have dairy in them and I don't eat dairy, and she was trying to make me eat them.
That's what the picture was about on the cover.
No more wire coat hangers ever. Michael had some nice comments for me about Walt's mansion up in the Hollywood Hills. Thank you, Michael. I'm just kind of scrolling through the comments here, and I'm glad that you all are enjoying the lights and things. It's going to get a little dark here now that we've had our daylight savings moment. The park is much darker during these videos. Storybook Land is about to go down for a refurbishment. It'll be a brief one, just a few days. And we believe that when it comes back, they will have decorated the little houses for the holidays. Did you know they did that? It is true. We're gonna zoom in a little bit. There we go. A little more light this way. Yeah, a little better. It's dark at night, so if we zoom in, you don't see as much in the frame, but you get more light in what is here. And we can see the crowd. So this is one of the pinch points in the park. It's always busy here, except on the most uncrowded days. You will always find crowds here in this little passageway from the parade route into Fantasyland. The park in most places does not feel overly crowded. So in days of old, on the holidays, on Thanksgiving, the entire week of Thanksgiving, people take off for work and they're out of school. But that doesn't really happen anymore here. I mean, people are still out of work and out of school, but the park is now blocked out for most annual passes. And what was it, Jeffrey? $206 today? $206 to get into the park.
And people that want to buy passes can't buy passes.
Yeah, passes are sold out. And there is a special 3 days for the price of 2 ticket if you are a Disney Plus subscriber. That's a good deal. Going to go through the castle to get to the other side of the park because it's prettier. But because it's so expensive and because so many passes are sold out, not as many people are coming to the park for these busiest holiday days. So expect the week of Thanksgiving, the week of Christmas to New Year's not to be as crazy busy. But then there's the other side of that. It is busy because everybody here is a tourist, and tourists buy Lightning Lane. And what does Lightning Lane do? It makes the standby lines longer. So if you're just looking at the wait times, you'd think the park is packed. It isn't. The lines are packed. So the standby lines that you're seeing throughout the park are huge, even for rides that don't have Lightning Lane, like Peter Pan, because the lines are so long at the rides that do have Lightning Lane that people are forced into other lines. But look, even over here at Snow White, they're not out of the queue. They're contained entirely within the building. And we've seen wait times all over the map today. So there were super long waits, over 2 hours for Radiator Springs Racers. It was well over an hour for Space Mountain, and then it went down. It was over 75 minutes for Rise of the Resistance, and then it went down. Big Thunder is under refurbishment, so it's already down. How pretty it is back here. So it's a busy time of the year, but there was a lot of downtime today for many attractions. I had a friend call me the other day, and he said, I'm thankful for you doing your videos because it may be the only way I get to see Disneyland for a while. I've decided not to renew. Too expensive and too many rides are broken down. When they start fixing the rides, I'll renew. And he says, I can afford when they do a special offer, like the 3 days for the price of 2, to buy the special ticket and just go a few days a year, and that'll be enough until they get their act together. I hope Disneyland is paying attention. I think a lot of people are starting to feel that way. Now, there's a lot of magic here and a lot of wonderful things, but they definitely have some issues with maintenance. One of the most beautiful places in the world right here. One of the most photographed things in the world. For a long time, they used to say this was the most photographed building in the world. I don't know if that's still true or if it was ever true. Disney marketing says all kinds of things. Back in the Jack Lindquist days. You see there's a big box here and it has a flap on it. There's a projector in there, so it's projecting light onto the outside of the building, but tonight it will project all of the images during the fireworks show. Okay, into Fantasy Fair Village, and then we're going to go around and see what's happening on the west side of the park, where there's a lot of new things. Still some people in line to meet the princesses. Oftentimes, and off goes Rapunzel there. If you stare at this statue in the middle of the courtyard here, the one of Rapunzel, every once in a while, her hair glows. Did you know that?
Yes, I love it. It plays
fiber optic hair, yep. And then her hair starts glowing.
Here comes Rapunzel.
Yep, she was walking away. She saw you coming, Suzanne, and she said your hair wasn't long enough. Maybe she would give you her wig.
Oh, then I wouldn't be mistaken for a boy.
I would never mistake you for a boy. Is that the cheesy bread right here that's in these blue things? Last week, just after the live video, I was getting ready to go home and I suddenly got the urge to get one of those cheesy breads with the sausages.
Yes.
And you agreed to, and you're like, a lot of dairy, I'll share it with you.
Yes,
And
I'll take one for the team.
I was already at the front of the park. You had already gone off to meet with some friends, and we met at the Edelweiss turkey leg stand.
It was good.
And it was great, but definitely a heart stopper.
Yes, you can't eat it very often.
So they don't serve it with the sausage here, but they have just the cheesy bread, I think.
Yes.
And then the hack that everybody's into is that you take that cheesy bread while it's still warm, and you run over to Bengal Barbecue,
Yes.
and you get like one of the chicken or beef skewers, and you slice open the bread and put it in the middle.
Yeah.
And that's better than the sausage, they say.
I like the brat though, and you don't get
I do
that
too.
much meat on the skewer.
Right. Plus, it's a lot of extra work.
You'd have to buy 2 just to make a filling sandwich. That's expensive.
I agree. Everything's expensive now at Disneyland.
Yes.
Everything. And we'd like to believe that because things are so expensive that nobody's coming to Disneyland anymore. But even on the $206 day, although it's not as crowded as it used to be by far. I mean, you remember back in the day, Suzanne, trying to walk through this area on Thanksgiving or the day before and after, it was shoulder to shoulder. But now wide open spaces. Look at this. Wide open spaces. Where are the people? They're in line. they're all in line for the attractions because Lightning Lane has ruined the lines. One of my favorite areas for the holidays is Frontierland. It just feels rustic and old-fashioned. It needs to have a tree of some sort. It needs a beacon of light somewhere in this land would be nice. Something near Zocalo Park would be great.
Yeah, it would be nice if each land had a holiday themed tree.
Great Tomorrowland, I can just imagine the tinsel tree or some holographic trees there. Oh. Where is he?
One more.
On that side?
Yeah.
Okay. It says that our transmission is unstable due to a weak connection, so I hope you all stick with us here. Shouldn't be, because we do have plenty of signal strength. Thank you, Jeffrey. So there's this wooden reindeer, and they call him the Cattywampus reindeer because he looks a little bit like the Cattywampus at Knott's. Cute, there's 2 of them there. I love him. To take him home. Very cute. But I like the rustic style decor here in Frontierland. It just speaks to me. Feels more authentic. Though much of what we think of as Christmas is more Victorian. Here in America, the early settlers would have had a much more rustic version of their Christmas. Comes the Mark Twain around the bend. I would love to jump onto the Mark Twain, but most of the river is just so dark right now, there wouldn't be a lot to see. There she is, coming into port. The old girl. Yeah, Connie, it is sort of the perfect time to be at Disneyland. Low crowds in a way, so it's easy to navigate. But, and we've blocked ourselves in. Get completely trapped here. But the lines have been crazy, which is why I ended up in single rider for the Matterhorn, the Splatterhorn.
Why you ended up on Matterhorn?
No, that's what they could do during Halloween time. The splatter.
Splatterhorn. I was going to mention when we got off the ride, all those wonderful Yetis were all designed and built by Garner Holt. Garner Holt Productions.
One of ours is down.
Was it? Which one?
The one where he's, well, it was dark where he's coming out of the, you just see his upper torso.
Hello.
Hi.
So they're only doing Happy Thanksgiving. How are you? I love your hat.
Thank you. Gotta get here.
How are you, my dear? Can I give you a little kiss? Mwah. Happy Thanksgiving. We're in the middle of our video, so I will see you soon. One of my friends there that does Gumball Rally every year.
Park it on your right side.
Having a hard time focusing here, not enough light. My good friend Justin Dorval is watching. So kind and supportive, sends me lots of info when he sees things about the parks. We're headed down because there are some people in line, but you know, there's no, look at this, there's no one up over the bridge on Pirates, and there's no queue in the center of the land. There are people wandering around over there. Earlier today, it was a 60-minute wait, so kind of a boom and bust on some of the rides.
Right now, I think most people are at the parade.
Christmas parade, packing them in. We'll get to see a little bit of that parade at the end of this video. All right, we're gonna head up into the light over here. You smell the gas from those?
The diesel from
Yeah.
the wrap.
It's not a very pleasant smell. It smells like propane. Sorry about the jittery video. Because I rode Matterhorn at the beginning, I wasn't able to set up the stabilizer. It wanted to start the video tall instead of wide, and unfortunately, if we do that, then it causes Facebook to go wonky and you lose the video. All right, so we've showed you a couple of weeks now the new Magnolia Gardens. That's over here. We're gonna just take a short sweep in to see what it looks like now. It is starting to finally grow in. You see the new pavers here. There's lots of different types of pavement in the area. There's concrete, there's brick, there are pavers. Not unlike anywhere else in the park. They've moved the popcorn cart to the back over there, and they did another thing that it took us a little while to realize. Why does it look so different? Why does it look so different? Well, in addition to the newly shaped gardens on either side without the big circular fountain, they carved into the old gardens that used to be here next to the train station. So remember, a train station up there used to have a sloping hillside, sort of like this little one that you see there, but it used to go all the way back, and it's gone. They've carved it out to make stroller parking over there. Also open it up a little bit so people can walk through and get their beignets and mint juleps back there. On this side over here, they carved out the garden and put a space for the popcorn cart. So now the gardens on either side of the train station are tiny, but there's more room for people and outdoor vending and so forth. This is the new Haunted Mansion queue. You see people standing in there. It's the covered section, the greenhouse section. And then back here, all the way back, is a crypt. This is the side of that giant crypt you've seen in the videos of the new queue, and this is the ADA elevator, so they exit from there. They enter through the front of the Haunted Mansion just like everyone else, but at the end of the ride, instead of waiting to go back up on the stretching room elevator, they exit through the hallway with the changing portraits, and there's a little doorway that takes them to the new elevator here. And then they exit right here where we are. I think it's more efficient for sure. All of this project that you see The changing of Magnolia Gardens, the building of the new queue was all made possible by the fact that they wanted to build a new ADA elevator. In order to do it, they had to build that huge crypt. To hide the crypt, they needed to build a new queue because they were selling lightning lanes. It allowed them to put more people in the lightning lane. So it all just sort of came together. You notice the fountain is now working over here. The last few weeks it wasn't. Had that same exact fountain at my grandmother's house when I was a little boy. She had one of those dragons on either side of her front door.
Wow.
So when I see it, it makes me a little misty. It's the exact fountain. So we're talking at least 50 years ago. Many of the items in this queue were purchased, so they were not sculpted by Imagineering, but they fit. And it's certainly better than the old concrete switchback that used to be here. We're going to walk into the standby, but we're not going to ride and we're not going to go on the ride because we just don't have time. I just wanted to point out to you all that the fountain that used to be in Magnolia Gardens is still here. They've just moved it into the garden of the Haunted Mansion. You can almost see it there. Sorry. Go and take a couple of steps in and then we'll turn around, because the line is too short for us, or too long for us to go through it. But so you would normally go that way, but now the new queue is to the left. So all of the new queue is over to the left here. So you go in there and then you snake your way through a number of different gardens. A couple of ravens guard the front entrance. Exit out here in just a second. But this whole queue, this whole long queue is contained in the new garden. So it's gotten people out of the walkways, out of what used to be Magnolia Gardens. And you'll see there's trees up above, so there will be shade here, particularly when it all grows in. Some weeping pine over here. Lots of interesting things to look out all along the way. So you're in a sort of cemetery type of an area. My favorite is Madame Leota's garden. She has an oak tree that's quite large. It has some lights in it. And then underneath are some ornamentation. And then there's that big giant gazebo in the back, the big crypt. And the crypt, of course, is really the elevator. Then you come back through at the end of the new queue and it takes you back to the front here. So you end up going through all of that and eventually end up over here. So almost, let's see what the wait time is. Wait time is currently an hour for Haunted Mansion. So that whole hour wait is contained inside the new queue, which is wonderful. That was the whole point of this, is to get people out of the walkways. So this used to be a horrible pinch point. It is now opened up. There's no more virtual queue here. It's all standby or lightning lane. No more virtual queue. Makes your day a little bit easier because one ride is still using virtual queue here, and that of course is Tiana's Bayou Adventure. We'll take you as far as the shop and look at Tiana's from a distance because we've covered Tiana's, which has been open and operating fairly reliably. Hearse here in front now instead of on the side because they moved the lightning lane touch points to the side where the hearse used to be. All the lanterns on the outside of the new gift shop lit. This is Madame Leota's shop here at the exit of the mansion. A few unique details to see here. See, here's the new ornamentation, some dried flowers, some pots up there. and Suzanne and I had to use cameras to look at the names on they have little plates that tell you what kind of plants are planted up there. I will tell you, all of them are begonia or coleus. They're fake plants, but the names are all deadly plants like nightshade, hemlock. This was the concept art. The shop isn't going to look exactly like this. Already we know the doors, number of doors is very different. The size is very different, and we have concept art for you on the website. Here's the temporary sign that's up there now. That will be changed, of course. They'll put in the actual plate for whatever they end up calling the shop right there. The beautiful Tiana's Bayou adventure over here. So a few questions from you all about the new Haunted Mansion Q. Did they add new music? They did. I believe the music is actually from Disneyland Paris's Phantom Manor. It's really a beautiful orchestration, haunting, moody, but they had a huge garden queue in front of that attraction. I believe that's where the music is from. I'm not 100% sure. I need to look into that. The question also was about how are they handling the guests with wheelchairs. You just walk up to or roll on up to the front gate and tell the cast members what you need. They put you in the correct line. You'll enter pretty much like you did before. So up the right-hand side, they'll send you the ramp just in front of the front gate there. And then after you go inside, they'll direct you at the bottom. If you are a guest that can transfer and walk, they'll have you park your wheelchair outside the mansion. If you can't, then you bring it all the way down to just about where you load, and they can slow the vehicles down or stop them so you can board. And when you exit, your wheelchair will be right there for you. Get back in it, and then you'll go to the elevator. So the only guests that'll be using the new elevator are the ones who cannot transfer or walk very far. If you can, you'll be taking the same route as everybody else. You'll just be entering at the front porch instead of going through that long queue. So the cart back here, Jeffrey, the popcorn cart, has mix-ins. Did you know about that? So there's candy mix-ins that you can add for like $1.99 or something. It's not that much, and they mix candy in with your popcorn. I love it. There's something about the salty and the sweet and the buttery, and it's wonderful. They've changed it by season, so they had different mix-ins for Halloween than they have now for the holidays. There's one other place in the resort where they're doing that. Back at the snack stand at the Fantasyland Theater, they're also doing popcorn with mix-ins. I love it. In Florida, there's a whole shop that does it. Candy shop on Main Street. They have all sorts of Mars-style candy mix-ins, and you can even choose your popcorn base there. So you can get buttery popcorn or caramel corn, kettle corn. I think they even have multicolored popcorn, and then you get your mix-ins, and you get to pick what your mix-ins are. I like that. I'm hoping when the wonderful world of sweets, which we're going to see in just a moment, opens, which could happen anytime now, that they will have some sort of a popcorn with mix-ins, or that they do it soon, I hope. It's awfully dark here, but when we get to Main Street, it'll be much brighter, so hang in there with us. I have some news about this whole area that I will include in the Monday Disneyland update, so you will want to read on. Oh, what may be coming here soon. So the line for Pirates is much shorter. Earlier you were complaining about how long the line for Pirates was, but it's not bad now. So ebbs and flows. So for months and months after the opening of the treehouse, the buckets that are pulled along by the water wheel weren't working, but they've been working for the last month or so.
Stay right here, buddy. This one's ours.
Talking earlier about the Bengal barbecue and getting the skewer and putting it inside the cheesy bread. Well, this is the Bengal barbecue here to the left. For those of you who are not locals to Disneyland, some of the smaller eateries aren't as well known. There's a standby line here. It's pretty short right now. Just a few parties waiting, so it wouldn't take long to order a skewer. They have one of my favorite snacks in the park here, the safari skewer. That is asparagus wrapped in bacon. They also have beef skewers and chicken skewers, some spicy sauces and some sweet and sour sauces. Very nice. I do like it, but they've made it pretty expensive. Short line for Jungle Cruise right now. Doesn't look like very many guests are upstairs in the upper queue. I love it, but it makes me mad to ride it this time of year because they got rid of the Jingle Cruise. My darling Kathleen just left us a message. We got to see her briefly as we were walking through New Orleans Square. Adore her. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Kathleen, and to everybody watching right now. And even to those of you who chose your family over this live stream. Wish you a happy Thanksgiving as well. Suzanne? Oh, there she is. I'm just keeping tabs on everybody because we're walking through the dark. I could be like a mom in a busy convenience store. Suzanne, where are you? Mom, stop it. You're embarrassing me.
I was thinking the backpack, like the monkey backpack where the tail's the lead.
Yes, I need to get you one of those. You don't see those very often at Disneyland anymore because the park is so crowded that if somebody had their kid on a leash, like you used to see all the time,
Yeah.
it's too easy for the kid to get tangled up into a stroller or a wheelchair, or somebody to go running and run between the mom and the kid and cause the kid to fall. I wonder if Disneyland even allows it because you never see that anymore.
Yeah, it used to be all the time.
All right. I hear the Christmas parade. Are here for me and you, caroling this time of year. Mike, this is for you. Sign is working. We wish tonight on this Christmas fantasy. There's Pluto and Goofy at their gingerbread house. Oh, they want want us to go the backstage way, but we can't because we have the camera. So we have to go this way. They won't let the camera stay on backstage, so I have to take you this way. Notice how easy we're navigating the street here. There are a lot of people waiting to watch the parade, but they're using that backstage route, and there just aren't as many guests in the park. Short music loop. Buzz.
I need a reservation. Let's stand and deliver the ship. Just look at this Yuletide celebration.
There's Jessie. That little girl riding on her dad's back there spotted Jessie right away, and she was waving. She's so tiny, she smells a massive fire. I love it. One of our staff members is at Tokyo Disneyland right now and saw their Christmas parade, which is a version of their upgraded electrical parade, Dream Lights. So they have a holiday version of Dream Lights with better music, better parade floats, more magical. Love to see something like that here. Keep the units that you love, like the dancing reindeer and the snowman. Here's the reindeer now.
For visiting Santa Claus on Thanksgiving. Merry Christmas. Hello. Merry Christmas, family. It's so good to see you. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Oh, I love you. Do you believe in Christmas magic? Of course you do! Very good, lad. Say, reindeer, gather around. Merry Christmas. Reindeer, lead the way. Merry Christmas.
All right, we're rushing. Oops, sorry. We're rushing out of the park because the parade is ending. We're rushing. So Evan was asking, where did the missing parade floats go? I don't know. I don't know how much is missing, but not enough is missing because that parade kicked off half an hour ago from Main Street, and we just saw the last float. So that is a half an hour long parade. We just saw a few minutes of because we arrived from Adventureland 2/3 of the way through. Walked our way down Main Street and saw Santa just before we got to the train station. Parade is too long with too many long gaps in between. Repetitive music, ancient floats, doesn't use technology well. We deserve a really, really good Christmas parade. They had way back in 1998 promised a new parade for us, but it got canceled due to budget cuts right there before Y2K. And they've still never done it. Suzanne, are you ready for a new parade?
I'm ready for a new parade.
Yeah, I think so. I think keep some of the nostalgia for people because Christmas is about nostalgia. So keep favorite dancing reindeer and snowmen and the skating snowflakes and those kinds of things, but replace all those old floats and the simple, tiny ones like just the trees rolling down the street without stars on them. I am ready for something like Dreamlight's Christmas, Tokyo Disneyland, or even Hong Kong's Christmas parade. They have a lot of things. Paris has had beautiful Christmas parades over the years. And it's funny that many of Disney's foreign parks that are smaller don't have the kind of attendance that Disneyland does. Disneyland is the second most attended park in the world. Sometimes they treat it like it's going out of business. Exit. And we're going to go into extra innings here because I do want to show you Downtown Disney. So if you would like us to take you all the way down, show you where World of Sweets is going, show you the new shop, D-Lander, and give us a little fuel to keep running on because we haven't had our Thanksgiving dinner yet. But we love you. Thank you so much. And I love that you guys are lit. You're like the Main Street Electrical Parade over here. It's great. Take care. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
We'll take you all the way to D-Lander, and all you have to do to feed us is likes, shares, and comments, right, Suzanne?
I can eat
Hit
those
that.
all day.
No, do it for me. What did
Like
you
and
say?
subscribe, hit that bell.
I can't make myself do that. That song just feels like Halloween to me, this one from Nightmare Before Christmas that they play in the Christmas loop. I'd be okay with them having a year-round Christmas meets, Halloween ride for Nightmare Before Christmas, but I just don't want it to be in the Haunted Mansion.
Yes. I mean, they could do it for every holiday. I mean, he had all those doors.
That's right. So give him in his own ride somewhere. And we're not going into DCA, but we were keeping our eye on something, aren't we, Suzanne? They have updated the Soaring ride film at Epcot.
Yes.
So they have a new Eiffel Tower scene. So the Eiffel Tower no longer has...
The Eiffel Tower is no longer the Leaning Tower.
It is no longer the Leaning Tower of Paris. No, indeed. They have fixed it so that it stands upright, erect.
Fairly upright if
Yep.
you sit on the sides.
And then they got a new ending scene that looks like the new Epcot because Epcot has changed. So they soar over Epcot at the end, just like here they soar down Main Street. And because our Christmas parade never changes, and because the ending is always Christmas, they'll never have to change our film. This is new-ish this week. They installed Mickey and Goofy and Donald in front of this lit tree.
They all are to the left, but they're tiny
Oh, they're little.
on the rock.
I love that. This is cute. Not unlike what was there for Halloween.
I like it that Donald is happy.
We're gonna zoom in on Chip and Dale.
Elena.
Alright. Oh, for goodness. The volume of decor throughout the resorts is very much diminished. You will remember it wasn't that long ago that every one of these trees in downtown Disney was lit. They had the colorful round balls that were lit hanging in the trees. Many of the trees were completely coated in Christmas lights, and now it's just a few big giant elements hanging and the normal twinkle lights on the inside trunks. So it doesn't feel as energetic here in downtown Disney as it has in the past. They've definitely cut back throughout the resort on the volume of decor. Little cuts here and there. New Orleans Square, you noticed in Grizzly Airfield that they've cut back on the decorations there. Even the new areas like Tiana's Bayou Adventure, no Christmas decorations, but directly across from Tiana is Pooh Corner. They still have their decorations. So it's left over. Same thing in Toontown. The old buildings have decorations. The new buildings, like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, don't.
Yeah, I thought this year they would have had time to get some for it.
Clearly there's no budget for producing new things, and then when they need to be replaced, they just start getting rid of them, which is why New Orleans Square, I think, over the years, it's been cut. And as much as we like to complain about Paul Pressler and Cynthia Harris, who were in charge of the resort around the turn of the millennium there, 2000, they did spend a lot of money on Christmas decor because to them it was a way to get people to shop. They even had a shopping pass. Remember when you could go to City Hall?
Awesome. You could just come in and shop for an hour or so.
Yep.
You had to leave a deposit.
You give them your driver's license, and then you would be able to go into the park and buy those items you needed. Of course, that was before downtown Disney. So if you wanted to buy your things, you needed to go into the park. Now they tell you to go to World of Disney.
Yeah, before cell phones.
So we're headed up to a darkened building that is directly next to Sephora, and this will be the newly expanded sweet shop. Used to be Marceline's, which had become so dingy and sad. Cutbacks in the kinds of things they were offering, all the fudge and things like that were gone. It was just dipped apples and cookies and a few treats that they just did over and over for every season. Now we have double the size. It's reopening as the Wonderful World of Sweets. There is some concept art, I believe, on the building that we can take a look at. It is ready to go, so it could open at any time. In the meantime, they do have a little cart out front where you can still buy your carameled apples and cookies if you need them. Wonderful World of Sweets. I'm not crazy about the name yet. Could have gone a million different ways with the name.
I don't like that we're losing that connection to Marceline.
Yes, except it's sad for Marceline to be connected to a store that was so lame.
Well, that's true.
Wonderful World of Sweets is unwrapping soon. We hear very soon. Definitely this holiday season. Yeah, they had some concept art that was on the construction walls. The construction walls are completely down now, so usually when the construction walls are gone, they're ready to open. Many of the restaurants, even the ones that aren't owned by Disney, are participating in the Food and Wine Festival, even out here in downtown Disney. I see a sign over here to the left, so we'll go this direction. But Paseo and Centrico here, these two restaurants on either side of us, are friends of the festival and do have special festival items. There's that beautiful Centrico bar and restaurant. I like this place. Of course, it all comes down to weather. So if the weather is nice, this is a great place to come. And if it's too hot, too rainy, too cold, not necessarily the best place, although they do have heat lamps. So if it's too cold, they can mitigate that a little bit. Have you eaten here yet, Suzanne?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. There was a cornbread dessert that was really good.
I can't go by Black Tap, which specializes in milkshakes, without thinking of the, what do they call it? The chocolate emporium at Universal Studios?
Oh, yes.
Twosome's Chocolate Emporium. And they've got a special milkshake right now for the movie Wicked, which is half pink and half green, the milkshake is. It was the highlight of my week, seeing that movie on opening night last Friday. I loved it. I cannot wait to go see that movie again. A quick look inside the dress shop. This is where Wonderground used to be located. You see not so many dresses, but you do see a lot of Spirit jerseys. Wonderground is moved over where the socks and flip-flop store used to be. Small shop. Beignets, short line for beignets right now, but at the end of the night, you'll see the line goes all the way down to the hotel and back again. And on our right, another big thing coming in the former Tortilla Joe's building. There will be a steakhouse, which is table service, and there will be a quick service barbecue establishment. So on one side of this building is the steakhouse, and on the other side, across from the bowling alley, is the other. Just about every restaurant when I was here last night taking photos had a long standby wait and was completely booked solid on reservations, with the exception of Splitsville, which was mostly empty. No surprise, it's not the greatest. Super expensive, really mediocre food quality, and the most expensive place on the planet that you can bowl. And the Jazz Kitchen, of course, we've talked about endlessly, how disappointed we were in the redo of Jazz Kitchen. They took all of that wonderful New Orleans theming out and turned it into a California pizza kitchen, essentially. So much so that Brennan's does not have their name on the building anymore. I think technically Brennan still owns it, Ralph Brennan, the famous restaurateur from New Orleans, but when Disney forced them to remove all the theming, I think they removed their name as well. But I did check their website the other day, and it showed that it was part of the Brennan's Corporation. I also dropped them a little note in their comments letting them know I hate their location in downtown Disney. Lego store has reopened. It reopened early. It was supposed to have opened on the 30th, but it opened last week. They were supposed to have changed the Lego sculptures on the outside and inside of the building, but as you can see, it's pretty sparse in there. They have not changed the Legos out. A few new things inside, mainly that they reduced the Lego wall at the back of the building. So there's one strip of Legos, and then there's bookshelves on either side. We won't stay in here. I just want to show you what it looks like inside now. The Genie sculpture is still here. And there's the new Mickey Mouse mural. And then I'll show you on the outside. See the Lego wall in the back? They used to go all the way across the whole back of the store, and now it's got shelves on either side. Don't forget Toys for Tots. You can drop off your toys at several locations in downtown Disney. But I do like this. I wish these were actual sets you could buy. They have a Buzz Lightyear Lego, Lego Autopia, Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. Pretty cool. You can almost imagine, Universal is building an entire theme park for kids in Texas. And it's going to be an epic park, a really cool park. So they have Epic Universe going in Orlando, and then in Texas, this kids park. Well, I can almost imagine Disney and Lego doing a similar type of park for kids somewhere maybe in the Midwest, with Lego versions of Disney rides, but all the rides toned down for kids. So a Lego Pirates and a Lego Buzz and, a Lego Jungle Cruise, but as a partnership between Disney and Lego, making it instantly kid-friendly because they feel safe with their Lego theming. Could be really neat. So that in front of us, old ESPN Zone building. Still not in use. We have trouble focusing. There we go. Still not in use. This is the old Rainforest Cafe, now the Star Wars trading post, barely in use, just a small portion of the old gift shop being in use. And on our left, new, the Parkside Market. Sip and Sonder, lights are on inside, sign is up. Parkside Market is directly in front of us. That will likely open this holiday season, although their official opening is planned for January. I met some of the executives from the company the other day, and they said they are almost ready to go. Sort of staffing and some kitchen stuff left to do, but the signage is up, tables have gone in. They are just about ready to surprise open during this holiday season. They would like to be open in December and before Christmas. Good for them. Also coming here is a chicken shop and Soul Sister, Korean-inspired food. That's sort of like a food hall or food court. So some little places and then some seating downstairs and upstairs a bar. Construction walls down here just past the West Side Parkside Market. There's an empty storefront here, which we believe will be the Avengers store. And next to it, D-Lander, which is a very high-end, very hidden back here. High-end store, sort of collabs with Kate Spade and Gucci and Chanel and things like that. Pandora jewelry.
Merry Christmas.
A beautiful store, but like you would see in a mall. Hello. Suzanne, the lady behind the counter, the mural there.
Yes.
She was a cast member at Disney, and she helped start the D-Lander or the Disneylander magazine, which was a cast member magazine. Is that
Some
right?
kind of publication, yes.
And do
They
we
told
remember
me her
hearing-
name was Susan Reed.
Susan Reed, and I've done a lot of research. I can't find a Susan Reed, but that's her, and she's sort of the inspiration for the store. I love this picture of her. I mean, how vintage and fabulous is she? Amazing. Pandora shop at the back. Lululemon. Some Loungefly over here in the corner. I'll have more for you on Mice Chat. You can actually see all about this store right now at the top of the site. I'll just point out for you these Vera Wang items. $250 Mickey hat for him and a $450 veil for her, but that's a pretty fancy mini veil, isn't it?
Yes.
It's gorgeous.
Yesterday, though, in this case, was a vintage Coach.
Yeah,
purse.
vintage Coach bags and there's one more spot for another shop that I believe was going to be the Bath and Body store, Nectar. I'm not sure which was for where. So this could be the Avengers store, or that could be the Avengers store. And then the other space was for Nectar. But I understand when they walked through and saw that Disney opened a new gate over there to the Disneyland Hotel, they got upset and they either may not build or they want to be moved, possibly.
Really?
Yeah. So let's walk that way. Let's take everyone over to the Disneyland Hotel and we'll end the video there.
All right.
Shall we? Shall we? Are way into extra innings here. 15 minutes over. We're going to go a little bit more. Why? It's Thanksgiving. We're giving thanks. I was hoping there would be a band playing. You see how many people use this park area now. Din Tai Fung over there. Have you been to Din Tai Fung yet?
No.
Delicious. Expensive. They have other locations in malls and places across the Southland that are much cheaper than this location, but this one is convenient. And it's all set up for a band. They're getting ready right now. I see their tech guys out there on stage, but tonight you can hear bands playing live. 50s band playing yesterday when I walked through. And starting tomorrow, I believe this is where snow is going to happen. So from the tops of all of these buildings, there will be snow, and periodically at night, it will snow here in this plaza. There's the big tree, located approximately where the old stage was, and you have to admit, the stage being moved to here is so much nicer with that big park, all that area, than crammed into the center of a busy walkway like it used to be. I really do like that change. Oh yeah, now if people wanted, well, it's hard for people to dance now because it's all fake grass, but you can always change that. Earl of Sandwich tucked away back there, they're gonna need that spot. Right around the first of the year, they're going to close the current Earl of Sandwich location. They will only have that little food cart back there for a while they build a whole new Earl of Sandwich right next to those shops we just showed you over there by D-Lander. This is a temporary thing. They have this cookie truck. They serve one kind of cookie, chocolate chip. They are delicious. So the options here are just, how do you want your chocolate chip cookies? Do you want a small sleeve of them? Do you want a bucket of them, or do you want them as a sundae? Oh, yes, please. They're delicious. I was headed back to Palm Springs a couple of weeks ago, and I grabbed a big old bag of them. I intended to eat one or two and take the rest to my sister. She didn't get to try them.
What she didn't know.
Which exactly, except, and I brought the wrapper in. Yeah, she's like, what was in that? It smells delicious. Cookies that you can't have, Brussels sprouts, chocolate covered Brussels sprouts. I love that commercial about Vegas. Now, you don't want to go to Vegas with us, do you, pal?
Yeah.
You know, it's all broccoli in Vegas. Steamed broccoli, fried broccoli, broccoli cookies, broccoli salad. Daddy, I don't want to go to Vegas, Las Vegas with you and Mommy. Oh, you sure, pal? Used to be a Tinkerbell here in the big hat. They delivered her when they were done with the refurbishment. We saw her.
Yep,
and then
I
they
saw
decided
them with
not
her.
to put her back up.
I don't know why.
Maybe they dropped her and broke her. So many things here at the Disneyland Hotel, and I have to just reminisce a little bit. When I was young, before they tore down the old entry building, there was a huge, in front of this tower, a huge Olympic-sized swimming pool, Japanese gardens. There was an entry facility that had restaurants and shopping, and it was a completely different hotel, and the Monorail Cafe was attached to the monorail. And people say to me all the time, you know, why did they move the monorail? They didn't move the monorail. The monorail is where it always was. What they did was reduce the size of the Disneyland Hotel to accommodate the new downtown Disney. Then this area over here was a giant lagoon with boats, and in the winter they would put an ice skating rink on top of it. Then they filled that in and built these pools. Used to be the Neverland pool, and now it's the Tomorrowland themed monorail pools. Beyond that, there were waterfalls that you could wander around, and where the big tower, the one with the frame around it, that's the new DVC tower. But back there was Fantasy Waters, the first water show here at the resort. It's not quite as extensive as World of Color, but it was pretty magical for the time period, for the 60s and 70s when it was there. It was more of a resort-like setting. There was miniature golf here. They had a helicopter pad on top of one of the buildings so that you could get to the LAX airport from the Disneyland Hotel in a very short period of time. But today the hotel still has a lot. It has now the Tiki Bar, Trader Sam's, has the tropical themed Tongaroa Terrace restaurant. It has Goofy's Kitchen. Soon there will be a new restaurant taking over what used to be Steakhouse 55, the former Granville's restaurant. You see Mickey and Minnie with their Olaf snowflake. They're usually lit, so you can barely see them right now, but that Olaf snowflake is pretty cute. There's a shop back here It's like a mini version of World of Disney. So some cute items and some Disneyland Hotel exclusives.
Now, Goofy's Kitchen has a holiday sign.
They have an overlay for the holidays, so the characters are in their holiday costumes. They do the same thing for a variety of holidays. So just take a quick peek here so folks can see the store. This is Vacation Club and Disneyland Hotel merchandise here at the front. Disneyland Hotel, welcome to Happy.
Welcome to Happy.
That's actually a very cute bag.
Yeah.
And the mugs look like old tin mugs, but they're porcelain. Kind of cute.
They have a Disney Vacation Club.
Oh, Vacation Club spirit jersey.
For the holiday.
That's nice, except I don't like. I don't like wearing clothing that says Vacation Club or Pass Holder or Magic Key. Nobody needs to know what I belong to. I would rather just have a cute holiday jacket. The coffee house here has an expanded menu from what it used to have, because now there's a DVC property next door that also has a bar, some food. But you want food for your hotel room. If you're DVC, then you can come here and they have salads and things, but it closes early. And Santa is located right here.
I think Santa's here now because
Well, let's
I
see.
see a line
Well, let's see what's happening.
and a sign.
I love it. I love it. Let's see if we can keep our stream here inside. It says right here, Santa Claus. And here's Santa's sleigh and trees and this giant chair because Santas can get quite large.
Those are cute, those ornament chairs.
That's new. It wasn't here the other day when I was
just the sleigh was here.
I like the idea of it. Cute, but Santa is not here. He's on his way. And definitely on his way because there are people waiting and there are cast members here. But folks, I think we're going to wrap this Thanksgiving miracle up. And there I am. I'm still here. And of course, I am joined today by Jeffrey, Ando, Suzanne, and all of you. So happy Thanksgiving, everyone. It has been such a joy to join you tonight, and we will be back with you next week. The week after that, Mike and I will be on the Disney Treasure. Maybe we'll have some videos for you. We'll see. I don't know what the situation is going to be until I get there, so we'll find out. But happy holidays, everyone. From here on out till the